Hi everyone, welcome back to Alcove Health Women's Clinic. I'm Sheri, Client Relations Manager, and oftentimes when people imagine a woman in an unplanned pregnancy, their thoughts go to the understanding that she's going to have to tell her parents and that hard conversation. But what about when the woman in the unplanned pregnancy is the mom of teenagers?
Yeah.
That's different, right?
Yeah.
And I'm here today with Sheri, our Client Advocacy Manager. Tell me about that Sheri.
Well, we've heard more than once, Sheri, from an older mom with teenagers who said, "How in the world am I going to tell my teenagers I'm pregnant?"
Right, and so most of us can imagine what it would look like to tell our parents, but what about when the woman's looking into the eyes of her teenagers? What is her biggest worry?
I think it really boils down to usually embarrassment. It's embarrassing to talk to your teenagers. Even if you're a married woman, sometimes the kids don't like to think about you having sex, especially if it's been a while since there's been a new child in the family. But for the single mom, I think there's even another layer of embarrassment. And then add to that the idea that if she's not in a relationship, reality is mom's probably not practicing what she's preaching. And so that can be another level of embarrassment.
Sure, and so it seems like that one conversation is the biggest fearful thing. She's thinking about, how am I going to tell my kids I'm pregnant? And you wrote a blog with some really practical steps for how to have that hard conversation.
Yeah, so some of the things I talked about were, just finding the right time and place. You definitely want a place where there's no distractions, no phones on. You want to be able to have a heart-to-heart with your child. You want to hear their heart, how they're feeling about this news, and share your heart, what you're thinking and feeling as well. And you don't want to downplay it. An unplanned pregnancy is a serious situation, and your child knows that. So try not to, approach it as if it's no big deal.
I wrote down one of the lines you wrote in your blog. It says, seeing you face something hard with courage and honesty might just be the best parenting example you could provide. Why did you write that?
Well, they're young, and so even if they haven't faced something hard, they will face something hard. And so just seeing you and watching you walk through this challenging circumstance can be a very powerful example to them.
Right, and so every week on a camera, a clinic, and a question, we have a question, but this week I'm going to start with a statement that sometimes women say to us. We've heard them say, I'd rather have an abortion than tell my teenagers I'm pregnant. And so the question comes to you, Sheri. What would you say to the woman who's listening who says, that's exactly how I think? What do you say to her?
Well, when I hear that statement, Sheri, it sounds to me like fear is a big driver in that woman's decision-making process, and that's just never a good idea. Fear should never be the primary factor in making a decision. So what I would say is what she needs to do is come to a place like Alcove Health. We exist for exactly that purpose, to allow her a safe place for her to talk about her pregnancy options. And she's getting spun up and upset and anxious, and she doesn't even know if she has a viable pregnancy. So let us at least give her some medical information. We can assess her for a possible same-day ultrasound. And so that would be my reaction to that statement, is don't let fear drive you to make one decision that you might regret.
Right, I think we can all think of examples where fear was the driver and we do have regrets. And so we want to encourage you to go to our website and request an appointment. I want to reiterate to you that all of our services are at no cost and they're confidential, which means we're not telling your kids you're pregnant. We want you to have that safe space to come in and process, so that then you're empowered to go have that conversation with confidence and knowing how you want to approach your children. Contact us today. We will get back to you as soon as we can. Remember, you're not alone. We see you. We want to help. There are other women just like you who are facing the same thing, and we exist to help you. We look forward to talking with you soon. Have a great day. Bye.